Well, this is our fourth straight regional final, and when we lost last year at Clemson, it was specifically Blake, Barthel, and I looked at each other and we said, we're winning it this year, next year. And we backed it up. We put our heads down as a collective group and just went to work, and we backed it up. I've got to give a huge shout out to our staff here at Coastal for all they did and all the work that they put in to host this event. Our grounds crew, the site reps, Rick French, Mark Scaff with the NCAA, all their hard work is very much appreciated and not overlooked at all. 51-11, 21 straight wins. Remarkable, truly remarkable, and really fitting to win a regional here at home and throw a shutout, because that's what it's been all year. This pitching staff has been unbelievable all year, and we pitched a shutout. The last time we dogpiled in a regional at home was in '08, ironically versus ECU. This is our fourth regional championship now. Really proud of this program and really proud of what these guys accomplished this year.
Sebastian, just take us through your bat there, get the sacrifice play. Obviously, the runner on third there, infield save. I'm sure you're probably just thinking, get the bat on the ball, put it in play. Just take me through that, your final at bat there.
Yeah, I will say once they threw that wild pitch, having the runner on third kind of shifts the perspective a little bit. But overall, it was about just controlling my emotions, staying in the present moment, and I had my coaching staff right next to me speaking just calmness in my ear. And Coach Schilling said, like, this moment is why you came back to Coastal. So lifted a little bit of pressure and realized that, like, this was the moment I'm supposed to be in. And I can't thank my team enough for putting me in that position. And I'm just glad I was able to come through for us.
Riley, can you walk us through that stretch there, the 5th to the 7th? You're walking the tightrope. You get out of it time and again. The emotional, I guess the roller coaster and just the way you're able to maintain your poise. How did you do that?
Well, I've been in 4 different regionals, and for some reason this one just felt different. This is potentially the last time that I pitch at Springbrooks, and I came into today's game just sitting there, just trying to take everything in and trying to produce for the team. Like, I knew what was at stake for this game, and I knew what everybody on this team has worked for and how much they've put in to be in this position, and to have Schnall trust and Williams trust me to pitch this game is, it's something. And, if they trust me, then I trust myself to go out there and do a good job. With those innings, it was just, sitting there, just control your breath, make pitches, and they'll get outs. Trust the guys behind me, and they made plays. I think was that 4 double plays by our infield today. I mean, they were tremendous. They did such a good job behind me, and we wouldn't be in this spot if it wasn't for them.
Probably at some point, you get juiced up in a situation like this, but as you alluded to, you've been in a regional before, you've been in front of a big environment like this. How much pressure did that first inning take off of you of coming in, setting the tone early, getting out of that first inning with no damage done, and you kind of settling in?
The first inning of every game is tough. You go out there and you try and find your groove right off the bat. Tonight I was able to just make pitches, and they were getting outs behind me, and so just being able to collect outs. One of our things is just collect outs, and we did a great job of that tonight, and it paid off big time. All the guys behind us just doing a great job. The coaching staff put the guys in the right positions for every at bat. It was unreal.
Like kind of soaking up the atmosphere as you walked off the mound. What was that moment like?
That's a surreal moment, one that I won't forget. I'm not one to just be in front of a crowd and try and juice them up. I don't think I'm that type of guy. And looking up and seeing everyone in the stadium standing up, clapping, and I was holding back tears. And the fan base that we have is tremendous, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Coach was talking about last year and how close you guys got to winning that region up in Clemson, and putting the focus on this year, getting better and getting over that hump. After that final out, man, just the celebration and the relief, so to speak, of getting past that first hurdle in the dog pile, and just the emotions of all that.
Emotions were high. Me and Bryce Eastep standing next to each other, and as soon as that last out was collected, I mean, we were hugging, bracing each other as hard as we possibly could. But the one thing that Schnall always says is the job's not done. Like, we're not satisfied. This feels really good, and it was amazing to dogpile in our field, but we still have next weekend.
Especially kind of going off that same mentality there, you being around here for a while, like we talked about last night, just the sensation of doing the dog pile and finally reaching that goal of that first step of trying to get back to the line.
Yeah, this was a hump that we've been working to get over for the last couple years, and getting to finally do that on our field, it was very special. And like he said, a surreal moment. It's hard to put into words, but it just felt so right. Everything felt so right that we would do this in front of our fans, and in a regional that we weren't even, a lot of people weren't even projecting us to win it. And we just take care of business day in and day out. It's part of it is just our coaching staff preaching consistency, and we just show up to the ballpark with the goal of getting better, winning games.
Riley, just for you, 4 years of contributing in this program, but it feels like you've just gotten better and better year over year. And you're talking about just development, right, in this program. What's been kind of the key and the areas where you've really grown the most, do you feel like, as a senior?
I think it's a big coaching part of it. Williams came in, and off the bat, he was aggressive, and he was like, this is how it's supposed to be done. And having someone in my corner like that, and Schnall as well, I mean, he was on me at the end of last year. And it's just having those guys in my corner supporting me and telling me, this is how it's supposed to be done, kind of thing. Kind of switches your mind to like, okay, like I understand it now. And you come in day after day just putting in the work, and if you put in the work, I guess results show. And so, just got to keep putting in work. Still got another week.
Anything else for players? All right.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
That's a question for Coach.
Coach, is this the best pitching staff you've ever been around?
Absolutely. There's no question about it. What they did this year, again, for us to be where we're at right now, 51-11, to win the Sun Belt Conference, to win the Sun Belt Conference tournament, and now to sweep this regional, this pitching staff is the reason why we're in this position.
Coach, can you just talk about the laser focus of this team? Obviously, that's a product of you and your coaching staff, but just the buy-in from this team from the beginning of the year up until now. I mean, a business-like approach. You guys, one step at a time here, winning the Sun Belt. Now you guys are on the Super Regionals. Just the laser focus this group has for you this year.
Well, I think it started in the fall. One of our former players, very successful entrepreneur now, Adam Rice, Coach Moglia, was very influential as well. His BAM philosophy, we've embraced this own it philosophy. It's basically the identity of our program. These two words shape how we win, shape how we lose, and this team fully embraced that all year long. And that was a big component. The other thing that we pride ourselves on is, our attention to detail and our daily grind. And we feel like those things are what separate us day after day.
Coach, talking about your attention to detail, you talk so much about execution. How big a play and how much much do you practice base running because of what Will Sykes was able to do on the fly ball from Caden Bodine to tag it first and get to second? I'm not sure he's, in position to score on Sebastian's fly ball if he doesn't take that base earlier in the inning.
There's nobody in the country that practices base running more than us. There might be somebody that practices as much, but there's nobody that practices base running more than we do. It's a big component of our offense, along with our short game. And we pride ourselves on being aggressive. There are some times where our aggressiveness turns into outs, but if we continue to follow our philosophy, which we did all year long, a lot of really good things happen. And, this isn't the exact offense that we've had in the past, but they've still found ways to score runs. And really proud of, their overall buy-in since day one. But that is something, and again, that's the foundation Coach Gilmore left.
Coach, just Riley's grit tonight and just his overall performance to inning in out, just keeping zeros off the board and keeping you guys in this ball game.
Well, it's 3 regionals in a row that guy toed the rubber, and absolutely dominated. 2 years ago, he dominated here versus UNC Wilmington. Last year, he dominated at Clemson, a very good Vanderbilt team. And then today, he threw 7 1/3 scoreless innings. I've said it since week 1. Anytime I got an opportunity to write Riley Eichhoff's name as our starting pitcher, we got a chance to win.
Coach, can you also talk about, I guess, just how aggressive Dominic was when he came in the game at the end of the game, in his last, coming in with a runner on Carbone, coming in with a runner on Firth, and just 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts on 6 pitches, and then very aggressive in the 9th inning as well.
Well, I tell Dom every time, he's got as good as a pitching staff as we have. That guy, when he's dialed in, is the one guy I wouldn't want to face. He's got the best stuff on the entire staff. That's a massive compliment because that's a really good staff. And tonight, he was absolutely lights out.
The way Riley talked about all those double plays, and it makes you kind of wonder. You look at some of the scores around the country. Why aren't there more sinker slider guys, less strike thrower throwing baseball? But he feels like the prototype right now. That's how you got to do it.
Yeah, well, we turned 3 double plays last night. We turned, another 2 or 3. I know 2 tonight. It's something that we've prided ourselves on here is turning double plays. We've led the country the last couple of years in turning double plays, and we laugh about it this year because we didn't. It's actually not a good thing to lead the country in turning double plays. That means there's always people on base, right? So this year we didn't lead the country in turning double plays because our pitching staff was really good.
Coach, you had a couple of opportunities with a man on first and your 2 hammers up, 16 and 17. Were those tough decisions to let them swing as opposed to
Oh, yeah.
those would have been sacrificed?
I wanted to bunt the whole time. But, man, I envisioned Colby hit another home run, and I went against it. It still worked out, and I can tell you this, I will never bunt Caden Bodine.
Remember, take it back to the end of the fall, Coach. These guys coming off injuries on the mound, right? There's some question marks there. It seemed like you weren't maybe thrilled at that point with your offense's state, it's fair to say, at the end of the fall. The way this team grew, I know you said you were going to win regional this year, but did you see this kind of season coming really at that point?
Well, I'm not going to say that. I saw 51 wins, but like we talked about yesterday, there's extremely high standards every single year at Coastal Carolina. We lost 3 of our top 4 hitters from last year. We lost a Hall of Fame head coach. Those guys aren't easy to replace. But again, I was fortunate to have this athletic administration to give me the resources to hire an elite coaching staff. And, how do we accomplish what we did this year? Well, it's a pretty easy formula. I've said this before. It comes down to 3 things. Number 1, you got to have really good players, right? Which we obviously do. We got really good players. But those players must be willing to drop I and me for we and us. And when really good players have that same mindset, extraordinary things could happen. Secondly, you got to have an athletic administration that is committed to excellence. We certainly do. Look at this crowd that we had tonight. That's the third part. You got to have a community. you've got to have fans, and you've got to have donors to support your players. This year, it was felt at an all-time high, right? And I'd be remiss if I didn't specifically point out Pete Fitzpatrick and Steve Bergman. Both of those stepped up big time and donated to this program in a big way that's going to allow us to be in this position for the years to come.